Hello my comrades, welcome back to another video showcasing the expanding Times Square district as I build architecture based on real life buildings in Minecraft, and I try to give you inspiration for your cities. So let's get into it. In the first part of the video, in this plot, I am building the market building from San Francisco, and at first it was going great so far. I was going to build, but when later I got to sight of the building, I decided to not to do it since I believed it wouldn't work out so well, and believed it would be better if in a different spot of the city, and since the height of it would be too tall for the plot, and I have some ideas for it in the future. So later, after that misconception, I have been searching for buildings on Google Earth and trying to come up with customizations of the building for the plot. Recently, our newest builder, Frankie, came in for the rescue with ideas for the city block. So Frankie planned out the whole plot from the exterior of the building and the interior layout of the building. As you see in the video, while Frankie continued to plan out with Mello, helping him, one of our moderators and friend, I have been looking for window designs for the building and got started on the underground parking garage, which will have 2 stories of parking. So recently I found a couple of pictures which I will show on screen later. Frankie was nearly done laying out the building plans, and I am very thankful for both for doing. Then, when they finished with it, I got started on furnishing the interior, and Frankie and Mello also helped me with some areas as well later in the video. As soon as the lobby and the rooms were done, I got started on the outer front of the building. I added seating, ceiling lights, planters, and much more. And then we could begin on the office layout, and once I was done with most of the bottom flooring, I moved on to the second floor where the office rooms will be. So I extended the elevators and fire escapes, stairways to the second floor. Next, I worked on the layout of where I want everything to be. So I added 2 bathrooms, office desks, cubicles, meeting rooms, private office rooms, planters, etc. Once that was done, I went back to the parking garage, and this time I was going to finish it. So I cleared out the stone that was in the way and started to plan out the layout of where the parking will be, the back right rooms and elevators and stairways, etc. While I was working on it, Frankie and Mello were working on finishing the interior, as you will see, and putting details on and adding 6-wheeler truck in the loading bay. I was nearly done with the parking garage completely and added the same things to it, nothing more than that. Once I was done with that, I moved on to placing the glass facade for a bit, then move on to furnishing the interior, although I had to make some changes along the way, and later of the video fixing and placing double walls where it was necessary in areas. Mela and I were working on the interior of the two shops, one being a Japanese style cafe and the other a sneaker shoe shop. Both came out good, and I'm glad Mel was able to help me through it. It made the process easier and faster. And then we returned to the office. We moved on to the floor above the shops and extended the office, and Frankie was on and was also doing it, which is the complete part where I and Mello were doing. We added the same stuff as usual. Then we got to the fourth section of the building, which will be another entrance to the office building and entrance to the offices itself. I was adding more glass facade for it, and Mello had to get off at that time, so I was working alone and trying to complete it in one night. I extended the walls since Frankie already made the layout, although I did make a few adjustments to it since some areas were awkward, but it did help a lot. When I was finished with that, I furnished the interior of it, added seating, lighting, and all that good jazz. Then I moved on to the second floor and added more office desks, planters, and more. I also extended the elevator shafts and fire escape stairways, and lastly added the ceiling for the office. Then for the third floor, extracted the 4x1 and completely even out the complex. Next, I move on to the plaza and wanted it to make it not as crowded since it is in a crowded area, so I added 2 spots where the flower beds will be, including marking out the trees that I will place out of wool later. I also placed down seating and designed 4 tiles. I placed a fountain in the middle of the plaza and flower bed and more flower beds in front of the office entrance of the building. The fountain I want to be a unique structure with a flagpole in the middle, so I quickly searched and found one, as you will see in the video, that fitted perfectly for the area. This did take a while to get right, which you will see I placed orange and red wool so I don't confuse myself when doing it, and see if it is accurate to the reference I showed earlier. Once I was satisfied with the results, I placed trees such as Japanese maple in front of the building, and in the larger flower beds I placed oak trees, 3 in each one. Once I was done with the plaza, I moved on to the other side of the building and added seating, potted trees, plant boxes, and trash cans, and will add hot dog stands, food trucks, and more later on. And now we're nearly finished with the whole building basics, and now time to finish it off completely. So first I will focus on the 2 lower sections of the building, as you will see. Then once done, finishing the glass facade and making sure everything else is intact. The frontier small part I extended the elevators and stairway to the roof. I added greenery on the roof with a glass patch on the corner and some air conditioning units too. And lastly, added a pathway throughout the roof complex out of polished black stone pressure plates with some seating tables. Finished the other part behind the one I was working on, nothing much to say. Lastly, now I am stacking the tower itself to the height level I want it to be, at the same time making sure everything is intact. And now I am doing the roof of the tower. I did the same things as the previous videos I mentioned beforehand. Hope you guys enjoy the process of the New York style office tower / mall, and I hope it inspires you for yourself. All the information is linked down in the description. Make sure sure to check it out our Discord channel, which is there too. I also want to give a shout out to the people who helped me along the way. Thank you to Frankie and Mello for your amazing support, and a special shout out to Robraks for helping me make my channel grow. I highly recommend you go support him on his channel and say hashtag life is Robraks. It will mean a lot to me of showing thanks. Anyway, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more exciting experiences, and let me know how you all liked the video. Thank you so much. Remember to share and like, and let's continue to grow our empire. God bless.